Let's say you hand me $30,000 in credit card debt spread across 3 cards on a tight budget and said, get me out. Here's the exact plan I build step by step, from month 1 all the way to the final signed settlement. No theory, just the actual moves in order. Let's get into it. I've been where you are, maxed out my first credit card young. Nobody taught me how it worked, and I settled that debt myself. Then about 10 years working inside the debt settlement industry. So I've seen this from both sides. Before the steps, one mindset shift. Getting out of debt this way isn't one big dramatic act. It's a sequence, small, boring, repeatable moves done in the right order. The people who win at this aren't the smartest or the richest. They're the ones who follow the sequence. So that's what I'm gonna give you, the sequence. Everything I use as a number here is an illustration. Your results will vary, but the steps don't. Step 1, get the full picture on paper. Before anything else, I list every single debt, who I owe, the balance, the interest rate, the account status, and how far behind I am, if at all. One page, all of it, staring back at me. This sounds obvious, but most people in debt never actually seen it all in one place because it's scary. Do it anyway. You cannot build a strategy on a blur. On our $30,000, let's say that $12,000 credit card, a $10,000 card, and an $8,000 card. Now I can see what I have to do more clearly. Step 2, separate what I can handle from what I can't. Look at each debt honestly. Is this one small enough that I can just pay it off in a reasonable time, or is it truly dragging me under? I don't want to settle something I can just pay because settling has a cost, and I don't want to keep running on something that's hopeless. So maybe that $8,000 card, if I can just clear it in a year or so, I just pay it. The other $20,000, that's what I would target for settlement. Matching the tool to the debt, not treating them all the same. Step 3, and this is the heart of it, start building the settlement fund. Settlement works because you can come to a creditor with real money, a lump sum, right now. So I'd open a separate savings account, one I control, and start feeding it every dollar I can put in from my budget. And here's the beautiful part I need you to catch. By building this fund, I'm building the exact savings habit that keeps me out of debt for good. The fund isn't an ammunition for the negotiation, it's the muscle I'll keep building for life, even on a tight budget, even if it's a couple $100s a month to start. Step 4, understand the timing. Creditors are generally more open to settling once an account is seriously past due, because at that point they're weighing getting something now against the risk of getting nothing later. Now, I need to be very clear here because this is the sensitive part. I'm not telling you to stop paying your bills. This is a personal decision with real risks, including damage to your credit and the possibility of legal action, and you need to understand those risks fully before you make any move. What I'm telling you is that timing is a major factor in what a creditor will accept, and you should understand how it works before you act, ideally with the full picture in front of you. Step 5, make the first offer, low but reasonable. When I've got enough in the fund, I'd make my opening offer on the first target account, and I start below where I actually expect to land because the first number anchors the entire negotiation. If I want to land somewhere in the middle, I don't open in the middle, I open lower and leave room for myself. And I fully expect a no or a counter. That's not failure, that's just process working. The first no is very often just part of their script. Step 6, negotiate calmly using a script. I would never wing this. I have my own words written down in front of me. Calm, polite, firm. I know my number. I know the absolute most I'm willing to pay. I walk away, and I do not let the call center employee rush or rattle me into agreeing to something I can't sustain. If I feel pressure, I say I need to think about it and I hang up. The power move in any negotiation is being willing to pause. They'll be there tomorrow. Step 7, and this is the non-negotiable, so listen closely. Get it in writing before I pay a single cent. A verbal agreement is worth nothing. People pay a settlement over the phone, feel relieved, and then get chased for the remaining balance because they never got terms documented. So before any money moves, I want it in writing, clearly, stating that this payment resolves the account in full. Then, and only then, I pay from my fund directly to the creditor, never into some middleman's account, directly to who I owe. Then I repeat, rebuild the fund, target the next account, open low, negotiate with the script, get it in writing, pay. Account by account until they're all resolved. On our example, that's where the 12 and the 10, one at a time, while I keep feeding the fund between each one. Let me loop this so I solidify this for you. Month 1, they list everything, 12, 10, 8. They decide to settle the 2 bigger ones. Month 2 through 6, they scrape together a fund, a few $100s, plus a tax refund they throw in. By month 7, they're getting a real lump sum. They call the first creditor, script in hand, heart pounding, and open low. The creditor says says no, counter's high. They hold, say they'll think about it, and hang up. 2 weeks later, they call back and land somewhere in the middle, get it in writing, and then they pay. One account down. And here's what happened underneath. They just proved to themselves they can do this. The fear breaks after the first one. Now the objection. What if I can't scrape together a fund fast enough? Then you go slower, and that's okay. This isn't a race with a fixed clock. A smaller fund just means a smaller or later offers, or targeting your smallest debt first for an early win. The plan flexes to your budget. What matters is that you start the fund and keep feeding it, because a fund growing slowly still beats minimum payments that never end. So here's your move today. You don't need the fund, the calls, or the courage yet. You need step one. Tonight, write down every debt on one page. Balance, rate, status. That single act, seeing it all, is where every plan begins, and it's the step most people avoid for years. Do it tonight, and you're already ahead of where you were this morning. Let's recap the sequence. 1. Everything on paper. 2. Sort what to pay versus settle. 3. Build the fund in an account you control. 4. Understand in timing, without me telling you to stop paying. 5. Open low. 6. Negotiate calmly from a script with a firm walkaway. 7. Get it in writing before you pay, directly to the creditor. Then repeat until you're free. Nothing in there requires a lawyer or a company taking a cut. It requires a system and a little nerve. That system is exactly why I built Vantage Path, to hand you the scripts, the timing signals, realistic ranges of what creditors have accepted, and a fund that stays in your control the entire time. I never touch, or we never touch your money. You authorize every payment yourself. But whether it's our platform or a legal pad and a savings account, the 7 steps are the 7 steps. If this gave you a real path forward, subscribe, give this video a like, hit the bell notification so you catch any upcoming videos, and stay tuned to watch my video next on how to build that settlement fund even on a tight budget, because step 3 is the one everything else depends on. I'll show you how to find the money. See you there. Quick reminder, I'm not a lawyer or a financial advisor, and this is education, not legal or financial advice for your specific situation. Your plan should fit your numbers.